going on, guys? JSGC here, back again for another daily Manchester City transfer update. Before I do crack on with today's update, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, do subscribe to my channel. I'm going to keep you guys up to date every single day with all the latest Manchester City transfer news here on YouTube. So if you haven't already, do subscribe. It is free to subscribe. We've smashed 41,000 subscribers and now less than 9,000 subscribers away from my aim of 50,000 subs, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Also, don't forget social media links, they're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorship for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up on the video. We've smashed our like goal in yesterday's video once more. We've gone 4 in a row. Can we go 5 in a row? Let's go 500 likes. Any help towards that would be much appreciated. And also don't forget to let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Finally, this video is sponsored and brought to you by KitBag, where if you want to go and cop the Manchester City home shirt for the 2024-2025 season, then you can go and do so using my link in the description, where you can purchase the top for less than £40. So if you do want to go and check it out and you do want to cop yourself the City home shirt, then do go and check it out. Links and details, they are in the description. So we've got no contract news to speak about, so we're going to dive straight on in with the outs, and we've got an update on Kayky. No, we've not heard of Kayky in a while. He's spent the season on loan at Sparta Rotterdam so far in the Netherlands. However, Sports Witness have said that he is set to be recalled by Manchester City, and I'm going to presume that this is due to the lack of playing time, and they're going to loan him out somewhere else before transfer deadline day. I don't know where that's going to be, but Kayky's progress and career, it's kind of stalled over the last few years, so I'm not sure what's going to happen or where he's going to end up, but I can imagine him heading out on loan, and I think for the sake of his career, if he doesn't leave in this window permanently, then I think in the summer he needs to leave Manchester City for the sake of his career, to see where he can go and see if he can get more regular minutes at a team that's going to give him the opportunity and the capabilities for him to develop and push on with his career, because at the moment everything's just kind of stalling and not really working, and at some point it's going to hit a head, and to me I think it would be best for him to seek a permanent move away and see if he can make it work somewhere else, because at the moment this loan route that City are going down with Kayky, whilst very successful with a lot of players, isn't being successful with him. So we will see. We'll see what will happen in terms of that. Now, moving on, we've got the very latest on Kevin De Bruyne. And Paul Hurst at the Times has given an update on Kevin De Bruyne, and this is really interesting. He says that Kevin De Bruyne is open to staying at Manchester City and signing a new contract. Now, he has been linked with a move to Saudi Arabia, and he's also been linked with a move to the United States of America. San Diego are the club showing the most interest in Kevin De Bruyne, who believe that they can get him on a pre-contract agreement as of Saturday onwards, so they can open talks with Kevin De Bruyne to get him on a pre-contract agreement to sign for them once his City contract expires on June 30th of this year. However, this is the first I'm hearing of Kevin De Bruyne maybe contemplating not taking that move to the USA, not taking the big pay rise, and staying at Manchester City instead. Now, no talks are underway between Manchester City and Kevin De Bruyne, but Kevin De Bruyne and Manchester City are very relaxed about the situation. I imagine that a decision will be made by Kevin De Bruyne. We normally get a decision made by players when the contracts are expiring. We normally get that decision some point in April or May. It could be a case like İlkay Gündoğan when he left Manchester City, where he did want to sign a new deal, trying to thrash out negotiations. It didn't work, and he decided by the middle of June, just before his contract was going to end a couple of weeks before, that he was going to leave Manchester City, and he made his decision then. So it's all up to Kevin De Bruyne, but I'm sure Manchester City would be open to putting him on another 1-year rolling contract. And I've been thinking to myself that it seems quite a strange time to come out with such a story right on the cusp of getting towards transfer deadline day and City being so active in the market. But the more I've thought about this story, the more it makes sense. Kevin De Bruyne is 34 years old in June. His contract expires on the 30th of June, so rolling him on a 1-year contract extension here may just make sense for Manchester City, because whilst we would like for Kevin De Bruyne to retire at Manchester City, he could cash in and take his own payday. But as we heard last summer, and it's been confirmed by Paul Hurst again here, Kevin De Bruyne is very settled in the northwest of England. He's very settled with Manchester City. He won't go to another English side. He's very loyal to Manchester City. De Bruyne has just been named Manchester City's captain, with Kyle Walker leaving the club to go on loan to AC Milan. So Kyle Walker's Manchester City's new permanent captain. And Paul Hurst has confirmed that Kevin De Bruyne has got all eyes on the 2026 World Cup. He wants to go with Belgium to the World Cup, and the best opportunity he's got with that is playing in Europe. So if he could get a 12-month contract extension, then it'd make sense for Kevin De Bruyne to stay at Manchester City, thinking about the international scenario here for Kevin De Bruyne, because he wants to go to the World Cup. If he plays in Saudi Arabia or he's playing in the USA, then if he's got other players competing for his position who are playing in some of the biggest and most competitive leagues in the world, then they may get given the nod ahead of Kevin De Bruyne. So he wants to remain competitive, so he's going to want to stay in the Premier League, one of the best leagues in the world, and staying at one of the best clubs in the world with Manchester City as well. So the key here is, if it's a 12-month rolling extension, City have just paid a heck of a lot of money to keep Erling Haaland here long-term for nearly 10 years. So in terms of the wages, are Manchester City going to be asking for Kevin De Bruyne to maybe come down on his wages? Because obviously a player getting to 34 years old, I'm not going to sit here and expect Kevin De Bruyne to be playing every single game, 3 games in a week, when his body's not going to be able to cope with that. So would City put him on a wage that reflects that? Would Kevin De Bruyne maybe be prepared to come down on his wages a little bit and sign the 1-year contract at Manchester City? All remains to be seen, but having De Bruyne's experience and a calibre of Kevin De Bruyne around would help Manchester City in the long term, and also helps potentially with a transition thinking post Kevin De Bruyne in bringing in a player who we would like to be able to take control of Manchester City's midfield through this transition. And what better way is there to have such players like Kevin De Bruyne leading through the next generation of players and can learn from the very best, which is why I think it was so important that Pep Guardiola stayed at the club. So we've got players here, we've got a manager here who can get the very best out of players, who's got a wealth of experience and success under their belt already and ready to pass that expertise and knowledge on to the next generation. So to me, if De Bruyne wants to stay, I'd be more than happy for City to keep him on a 1-year contract, as long as that doesn't influence Manchester City in doing the business that needs to be done in the next summer transfer window to bring in and try and overhaul Manchester City's midfield. I expect İlkay Gündoğan to leave, so there will be space for at least another midfielder to come in. We've still got to think about Rodri. If he gets another injury or can't, or he's struggling to get up to the level he was before, then you need options, you need alternatives. So just keeping De Bruyne around may just postpone Manchester City's hunt for a potential midfielder, attacking midfielder. I hope that isn't the case. To me, I'd like to bring somebody in and have another year of De Bruyne and have them kind of rotate with each other, learn from each other, ready for the next player to take over the reins for De Bruyne when ultimately he does decide to leave, which could still come this summer. So we will have to wait and see, but it's the first I'm hearing of Kevin De Bruyne maybe staying at Manchester City and signing a new contract rather than exploring that deal to San Diego or taking a big money move to Saudi Arabia. He wants to do what's best for his family, and that was the issue that he faced for last year, and he ultimately decided he wanted to stay at City, and it could be the same case here as well. Maybe De Bruyne wants to try and end his career at Manchester City. This goes on for another 2 or 3 years. We're getting towards De Bruyne maybe speaking about retirement. He may not want the big money of £1 million a week contract. He may just want to keep his family nice and settled with his children, his wife and himself very happy. And to be honest, there isn't a price on happiness, regardless of how much money some people can earn. And Kevin De Bruyne is still earning a whopping amount of money at Manchester City. So we'll see. We will see anyway. Moving on to the ins. Got a very quick update on central midfielders. I want to speak about Ederson at Atalanta. So the Daily Mail have said that Manchester City are continuing their focus for the rest of this window to try and add a central midfielder to their team. We heard the other day that Atalanta potentially could make Ederson available for a transfer, with Manchester City interested. We're also keeping our eye on Douglas Luiz. There isn't much else out there when it comes to central midfielders, with the deadline day clock ticking. That closes here in England on Monday, 3rd of February, 11 p.m. GMT. So just over 4 days remaining of this window. With City leaving it late, with still some business to be done. So it will be a late one here for Manchester City. And if it's not going to be Douglas Luiz or Ederson, we are kind of running out of time for another name to be chucked out there. But we could still choose to make a move. Manchester City do know that if we do want Ederson from Atalanta, we're looking at probably more than £50 million. A player who has got some legs, who can do a lot of running. He's a bit of a workhorse. I'm just wondering long term, is he what Man City are looking for? I don't want us to shell out £50 million on a temporary solution here when maybe Douglas Luiz might work better. We'll have to wait and see. But I have my doubts about Douglas Luiz as well. And we're facing this big midfield conundrum. And I think the reason that City haven't signed a midfielder so far is I don't think they're 100% committed or sure. So do we go with someone who we think might be of success, or do you wait until you know when somebody will be a success, which to be honest, with how long's left in the window, I'm not entirely sure that moving temporarily for a midfielder would be the safest of bets. But I don't want to sit here and argue against the importance of us adding a central midfielder. We're short in midfield and we could do with an option. So if we do see Ederson as the long-term solution for our problems in midfield, then to me it makes sense to get the deal done and get it done as quickly as possible. Now moving on to the final transfer, a very quick update on Andrea Cambiaso, the 24-year-old Italian fullback at Juventus who can play left back, right back and also through midfield. He plays for Juventus. Now Bianco, Nero over in Italy, who are an Italian source close to Juventus. I've not dealt with them before, but I've not dealt with many transfers associated with Juventus, so I can't possibly comment on the reliability. But what they were saying was really interesting. They say that today is the key day to decide if Cambiaso will be joining Manchester City in this window. They say that Manchester City are ready to pull the trigger. €60 million plus €5 million in bonuses, a €65 million deal in total. Personal terms already agreed with the player. Manchester City have apparently told Cambiaso's camp that they're ready to make the transfer happen. However, Manchester City are hesitating on this deal. Juventus were expecting an offer to come in yesterday. That hasn't happened, and that was confirmed by English sources, various English sources, who were saying that Cambiaso to Manchester City is in doubt, and Manchester City maybe want to wait on this deal and make it happen in the summer rather than the January transfer window. Juventus apparently open to making this transfer happen in this window so they can get some cash and make some transfers happen for themselves. Cambiaso happy to make the transfer in this window as well. Manchester City just hesitating ever so slightly because they want to focus on trying to sign a central midfielder first. So there is doubt on this deal. So today is a key day. Any developments, stay tuned to my YouTube shorts, my TikTok, Instagram reels, links to all them in the description. Go and follow me on there. Any updates, I will of course keep you guys up to date with that. So that has been today's transfer update. If you did enjoy this video, please do leave a thumbs up. 500 likes is the aim. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Social media links there in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships or any videos or any general business inquiries. And finally, do go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by KitBag. Remember, you can go and check out the Manchester City home shirt for less than £40. Links and details there in the description. And a big thank you to KitBag for sponsoring this transfer update. And I'll see you guys religiously tomorrow for the next daily Manchester City transfer update. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.